Hello, Sagittarius. Welcome to your teen tarot reading. One of the first things that I am seeing here is I feel like for some of you, there's a lot of financial settlements and as well as a lot of money coming through from big institutions. Okay, so this can be hospitals, this can be governmental institutions, or it could be settlements as well for a lot of you. I do see a lot of contracts being signed, and I do feel that, some of you are getting into shape, is what they're saying. And this can be, getting your life in order, sorting out some like clutter in your own house environment, getting rid of junk, getting rid of paperwork, signing on the dotted line, and then sending it out so that you're not dithering around with things anymore. So I do feel a sense of like closure, finality for coming through for many of you. And what I'm also feeling though is I do feel there's a lot of outdoor activities. I feel like, you might be trying to get into shape, like by doing a lot more outdoor activities, going to a gym, or at least, having some type of a exercise regimen, diet, or even like a specified food intake, like portion control and things like that, in order to slim down your figure, in order to trim down, and especially in order to prepare for major celebrations. Now, it is also your birthday time, so I feel all of these are, in conjunction with wanting to look nice, but I do see there is a huge health component associated with it. For many of you, you might be slimming down because there's a new person in the picture and you're trying to, look your best and act your best. But either way, I do feel that the physical activities is actually doing a great deal of good for you guys, not only physically, but also emotionally and spiritually. So I do feel that you're coming into this month with a little bit of a happy phase, okay? What I'm feeling as well is for a very small minority of you, just a small minority. A lot of you have been in a situation where you were kind of like knowingly a third party to somebody else. So you might be, the third party involved with somebody that is in a relationship with somebody else. And I do feel that, you might have left this situation behind, but it is your birthday time. So there's like communication and things like that coming through between you and another person. And likewise, I feel like, for those of you who are starting out, emerging into it like a new relationship, and things are going really well, I do see trips, a lot of communication taken by another person to come see you, and another person coming, you coming to see another person. And I feel that there are going to be serious discussions that need to be had. So there's a lot of communication, and I do feel it is of a serious manner regarding a significant person. If you are living at a distance from them, or if it's like a new person, you're having a discussion to see, like, what do we do? Where do we go from here? How do we proceed forward? I do see that there's a lot of invitations coming through for you guys in general, for social outings, for professional outings as well. But I feel that you are being very, very selective about who you spend your time with for the majority of this month. Mainly because I feel that, you do have a lot on your plate in terms of like decluttering your house, possibly even like, getting money to fix a house, or doing some renovation, doing some tidying up so that you can prepare for some massive, holiday gathering and things like that. I do see a lot of healing coming through from the home environment as well. So things are really starting to, either finalize, or at least, getting a lot better in your external environment, be it relationships with other people, family, friends, acquaintances, colleagues, or even, love interests. Overall, I do see that, you're able to close a lot of doors on things that have been straggling, especially legal paperwork. There's resolution at least, and there's a lot of just good, finality coming through. So at least you have that closure. Going back to the reading I did last month, I feel that everything was like really up in the air, like the dust wasn't very settled. And I feel that this is the month in which everything, starts to settle. You can exhale and you know how to proceed moving forward into this month as well as the new year. Okay. So those are the messages I'm getting for you guys. Let's go into this reading here. One of the first two cards that I got out here is the Lovers as well as the Justice card. Both of these things indicate to me some type of a contract between two people, be it in business or in, love relationships. What I'm sensing here is this is more of a business vibe to me, and it indicates some sort of a an agreement between you and another person. So some sort of possibly assets being transferred between two parties, and they're going to have to reach an agreement. I do feel that the other person that you're involved with, they're kind of skittish, like they're not really sure they want to sign yet. It's not that they don't want to sign, but I do feel that they have a lot on their plate that they're trying to consider or reconsider. And as a result of it, they're not really sure how to proceed forward. I feel that for a lot of you, you might be dealing with an air sign. I'm getting, the card of Gemini, the card of Libras here. So there's a lot of discussions had about, taking a relationship to the next level, or at least like a discussion with a partner, business or romance, where both parties have to decide on, the roles that are uh, undertaken by both parties. So you're trying to find a way to mediate with one another, and you're trying to find a way to, I guess, like allocate or even um, delegate responsibilities, who's supposed to be doing what, and how are both parties able to, I guess, like up their responsibilities in a way where they both can work together as a unit. I do see a lot of cooperation coming through between you and institutions. So, in the past, if you have been pushing for a specific outcome and people weren't doing their job, or they weren't where they're supposed to be, I do see a more of a smooth sailing type of energy coming through for this month, in which transactions are very fair, are very like I guess transparent, and there's a lot of a great deal of mutual trust, mutual respect, and mutual rapport between two people that can make the situation be streamlined and to move forward in a harmonious manner. The second cluster that's coming up here is we have the Queen of Swords and the Three of Swords. The Queen of Swords is an air sign. This is an Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. And I do feel this is an energy representing another person. A lot of you might have this person in your midst, and there's talks about, trips, travels taken. There is talks about separation as well. So this can be, they're temporarily out of the picture, and there's going to be some type of either a reunion coming through where you are bridging the distance between you and this person. What I'm also feeling as well is this is also a card about consulting, okay? You might be in a position where you are seeing a financial consultant, a therapist, or even some type of a professional, like medical professional, in order to, talk about surgery, in order to talk about like even hospital visits. Physical therapy does come up to me very strongly. The Queen of Swords, in this regard, I do feel it's more of a professional that is giving you some type of solid advice in order to help a situation. So they're not hindering your progress. They're here to help you with the situation, how to improve, streamline, something that you're doing, how to make things better, how to improve your health, especially as it relates to like cholesterol, um, blood sugar. I do feel something related to like, the bloodstream or the bloodline. Okay. And I do sense that it's more of a professional giving you some type of consultation, giving you some type of advice in order to help some aspect of your life that you've been struggling with. On the other hand, when they mention, blood related things, I feel like for some of you, this could be a blood relative of yours. Okay. So it's coming in as a female energy for many of you. So Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra female, somebody who is a little bit like very intelligent, extremely thorough, extremely intelligent, very reliable. And I feel like they might help you to finish some paperwork. They might help you with some type of, investment opportunities, advice on how to invest your money properly. And if they are a blood relative of your, cousins, aunts, maternal figure even, or even daughters, what I feel is you might not have seen this person or spent a significant amount of time with this person, there is something coming through in order to bridge the distance between the two of you, okay? So I feel like if there has been a separation in the past, they are coming through in a harmonious manner in order to reconcile with you or to bridge the distance with you. So I feel that a lot of you might come into contact with this person, this air sign, and they are giving you some solid, valuable advice. What is coming through as well is we do have the Fool and the Ace of Cups. Now, the Ace of Cups indicates to me a brand new opportunity that is on the table for you. And I do feel this is something that is preordained. It is coming into your life for a specific reason. And it is an opportunity that you should grab when it comes into the picture, when it makes itself known. The Ace of Cups usually indicates a new type of an emotional venture. When I see this card, I usually think about, like having a crush on somebody and then feeling the butterflies in your stomach. Traveling to see another person that you are very emotionally invested in. It could be family, it could be a significant other as well. And I'm going to do your love reading in a little bit, but I feel like for a lot of you, you are bridging a distance between you and another person. I do see an element of a peace offering. I do see a lot of healing happening between you and another person that you might have been estranged from. And I do feel that there is a catalyst, like another person involved in the picture that's like playing middleman, playing mediator, providing some deep spiritual insights or some just, personality insights that's helpful for you in order to understand your motives, in order to understand where the other person is coming from. But either way, I feel that, two people, if you've been feuding with another party, two people are coming together and there is some type of like communication breakthrough and some type of a peace offering. I feel like, both sides waving the white flag, meaning that, they're ending the stalemate, they're ending the conflict, and they are trying to re-engage with one another in a more high-minded manner in order to resolve conflict, or at least, let bygones be bygones, agree to disagree, so that both sides can move forward with each other. So I feel a lot of cooperation are coming through, especially if you have been estranged from another person that is very significant to you. And I do see for a lot of you, it is family members, okay? The last cluster that we are dealing with here is the Princess of Wands and the Strength card. Both of these things indicate to me very, very enhanced and increased metabolism. A lot of you are in a situation where you are doing a lot more physical activities in order to burn weight, in order to get yourself into shape, or at least, you are careful, more careful about your health. So you are, I see some rearranging, some portion control, dietary supplements as well. The Strength card indicates like physical strength, emotional strength. And when it's coupled with the Princess of Wands, this is kind of like sitting down, writing down your caloric intake for the day, or having like some type of an exercise regimen that you are sticking by. And for some of you, you might be seeing a physical trainer even in order to get yourself in shape. And a lot of you might have an idea, in terms of like the ideal shape that you want to be in, and you're working with another person in order to reach your goals. Okay. So I'm glad for those of you who are doing this, I'm glad that you are, mainly because I feel like, it is birthday time when we are very enthusiastic and we have that solar return where the sun is in your constellation, which is going to give you a very, very good boost when it comes to, staying on track, staying disciplined, and having a goal and sticking to it. Okay, so this is a very beautiful supported energy, and I do feel a lot of you are at a point where you are taking your health very, very, very seriously. For others of you, I feel like there might be communication coming through from either some type of a hospital institution regarding some type of results for health related blood tests, for health related like something that was held up in the past. You're getting some type of clear indicator, what's wrong. You're getting some prognosis or some diagnoses that make sense to you so that you know how to proceed forward. I do see a lot of like taking care of yourself, self maintenance, and getting your metabolism up for a lot of you happening in this spread. Now, what's coming through in terms of your spiritual advice? I do have the star, and the star is a massive, massive healing card. Once again, the health situation, there is some type of resolution. You are seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. And if you have been dealing with some type of either like cardiovascular health issues or even joints or even like things that might have really restricted your movement, I do feel a lot of you are taking better care of yourself. You're moving you're kind of like consulting somebody with some type of dietary supplements, dietary needs, and doing some portion control and doing some stringent exercises as well in order to get yourself to a point where you are feeling very very comfortable with your body. If in the past you have not been feeling, like you might have dealt with some body issues, gaining a little bit of weight, losing a little bit of weight, or not feeling like, completely comfortable or confident with the way that you look, I definitely feel some major transformations happening. And it's all a result of hard work. And I feel that, you're going to really enjoy the results that you're seeing for this month. The star card links up here with the Four of Wands. So I do feel a lot of reconciliation within the family unit. A lot of people coming together. It could be the holiday season, or it could just be because there is like, it's also your birthday time. So there's a lot more of peace offering coming through from other people. There's also like an air of like, I feel people are being a lot more courteous, a lot more self-aware of what they're bringing to the table. And I do sense a lot of people coming together and peace offerings being had. Okay. Um, you do have some very, very strong divine protection here. So if you were wondering whether or not you're in the right, you've been going the right way, or if you're in the right, if you're headed in the right direction, I would say this. I feel like a lot of you, there might be a new renewed sense of like loving your life. You're not stressed out anymore. I feel like a very elevated, uplifted type of energy. It indicates to me you're walking towards on the right path. For those of you who are still dealing with struggling relationships, it's important for you to like look the other way, because I feel like you have so much potential and opportunities that are trying to come through for you here with the Emperor. This is divine protection, and this is kind of like steering you, they're gently nudging you in the right direction. And he's got a globe on his hand, so he's basically telling you in the future you have a lot of new opportunities that are made available to you, and it's important for you not to like cling on so tightly to the way that you think, one way of doing, and like being a little bit too tunnel vision, because you're missing out on other opportunities that might even be better for you. So don't cling on to struggling relationships. You have a very powerful aura coming through with this reading, as well as with that solar return. And you are, a lot of you are having that Saturn transit Sagittarius right now, and you're still either like dealing with the beginning of it or the middle of it. It's not over yet, but they're pretty much telling you that, karmic relationships during a Saturn transit, you will either run into karmic people that are preordained or that are karmically fated to meet you, or those karmic relationships that have been troublesome and straggling along. Those are supposed to, be laid to rest for good. Okay. So you have some very strong spiritual insights here to let you know that you're on the right track, especially if you are venturing out, doing new things, taking better care of your health, and especially, signing contracts, letting things end. I also feel a lot of discussions being had about new places of living. There might be people moving in, people moving out. You're thinking about relocating as well. And there's also trips, travel in order to reunite with some type of a family. I do see an ancestral home. So, for example, if your father, your mother, or grandparents and things like that from the maternal or paternal side of the family, if they have some property, I feel like some of you might be returning or might be thinking about returning to take care of the ancestral property, or even trying to decide whether to sell it, whether to rent it out, or whether you will inhabit the house. Okay, so there's a lot of discussions about generational wealth, about generational assets. So like ancestral home, the home you grew up in, the home that your parents, your ancestors might own. It could even pertain to a plot of land. So I do feel a lot of you are thinking about what to do. I feel like for some of you, you are doing some massive redecorating of your home. And I feel like it's not just for the holiday seasons. It might be actually long term. And I feel like you want to be a little bit careful because I feel like you're going over budget. Like you're spending very extravagantly. You're in a good state. You're feeling very positive. You want to declutter your environment, get rid of everything, and then remodel, redecorate. And I feel that you want to be very clear about staying in budget. And especially, if you're dealing with contractors, um, just be careful that, um, you're not being like too naive. Like they might tell you, they might recommend the most expensive thing, or they might recommend like the most labor intensive long term project. And I feel that, at the time it sounds good, but the project, the renovation might, drag on for months and months and months. And you're dealing with very, very expensive, I feel like a lot of shiny marble, like, I'm seeing like very expensive remodeling projects, and at the time it seems good, but I feel like come February when the contractors are still in your space, you might feel like this is not what I signed up for, and you might like want to abandon the project halfway. Just be very careful. Going for the minimalist look is going to be in your favor for this, especially this month. So don't go overboard when it comes to like, remodeling, renovations and things like that, or even excavations. Don't spend all of your money because I feel that, you want to be a little bit more extravagant this month. And it's not the most practical choice to the most practical route to take when these are like cosmetic changes. Okay, so just be careful about that. So we are going to go into your love reading now. Just give me a second while I get the cards shuffled out. I'm actually going to read them in the upright position this time. And I'm going to overlay them twice, okay? That way we have a total of cards, and then we'll go into your reading. Okay, and I'm going to pull an extra card here for this tower situation. Okay, so let me talk about the past so that you know whether or not this pertains to your situation at all, okay? So singles and people who are in relationships, it's going to be together. So let's talk about the past situation here. The past situation, we have the Two of Swords. This is a card about, a stalemate. This is a card about not making a decision, waiting it out, trying to see which direction things are going. I feel like for a lot of you, you might have somebody that you are very emotionally in tune with. You have a very, very good, like rapport in general. And I'm feeling like you might be dealing with somebody who's kind of like happy with the status quo. They don't really want to change things, or at least they're very, very indecisive, and they take a really long time. They take their sweet time in order to make up their mind, in order to like figure out how they feel, or in order to move things along. They're not a very aggressive person. And I feel that, um, a lot of you might have to, have a talk with a specific person, and you might tell them, here's what I feel. And you lay it out all out on the table, and they're still trying to, make sense of it. And they're very, very slow to arrive at a decision. So I feel that, you could be dealing with an air sign that is coming through, or you could be dealing with a water sign. So let me just figure this out here. I feel that you're dealing with somebody who takes a really, really long time to figure out how they want to proceed, or you are in a situation where, things are kind of like, um, it might be a new person and you feel like you don't have enough information yet in order to decide whether to scrap the relationship or to move the relationship along. What is linked up with that here is the Wheel of Fortune. And the Wheel of Fortune basically means um, somebody needs to make a decision in order for things to move forward. And there is a little bit of a stalemate, mainly because the other person is not really making up their mind, or there isn't enough information here. You feel like you don't have all the information you need in order to make a decisive, choice as to what to do. A lot of you might be dealing with like options on the table as well, and you're trying to, just delegate, like spend time with each person in order to figure things out, to see who is the best option. So what I'm sensing is, for a lot of you, there might, like, a lot of you are coming into this month kind of still single, but talking to people, like, or even talking to one person, but you're not at a point where you want to take the relationship to the next level yet, or see each other exclusively just yet. Which brings us to the present situation. We have an air sign here. This is an Aquarius, a Gemini, or a Libra. This is somebody that is very, very, very intelligent. I feel that this is somebody with a good sense of humor. They are letting their guard down around you. Usually they are very guarded, but they are letting their guard down around you. I feel that you or this person, so this is a sun, moon, or rising, an Aquarius, a Gemini, or a Libra, that you are heavily involved with. There's a lot of electronic communication. This is like, the Tinder card. This is like messaging through email, through text messages, phone calls as well. I do see a lot of virtual communication between you and this person. And I feel like a lot of you are, this is a really good energy actually, because, in the past, I'm sensing, the past 2 years, a lot of you might have been dealing with a situation where you rushed in without getting to know somebody really well. And then you start to really fall in love with them and you realize they're completely wrong for you, but you're still stuck in it. So I feel that a lot of you have, left that situation. You're out on the dating scene. You're making quite a splash. And so you have encountered this air sign, somebody who has been through a huge ordeal in the previous relationship that they were in, the most recent relationship that they were in. I feel like they have been kind of scarred, or they have been like really hurt, and I feel that they walk around with, their sword up, like they kept people at arm's length, and they didn't really invest themselves emotionally. And I feel that you are dealing with this person right now, and they are letting their guard down around you. Okay, so a lot of you might be dealing with somebody with an Aquarius trait as well, so sun, moon, or rising in Aquarius, or even another air sign, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra, sun, moon, or rising. The communication is flowing really, really well between two people. This person is very decisive. I feel that, they mean what they say, and they say what they mean. And I feel that they're not just somebody to talk. I do sense that they're better at showing you, like doing things to show you that they care, rather than, just being there and being a sweet talker. So this is a very, very good type of communication coming through. What I also feel is like, I feel like you and this person, you're texting each other constantly. There are a lot of symbolism with birds for some reason. I have two here, and I have another one over here. And what that means to me is, quick messages, a lot of very, very good, like intellectual rapport, great communication between you and this water sign. I'm sorry, this air sign, as well as a lot of like recounting, your history, talking about your past relationships. So I do feel like a lot of soulful communication, meaningful communication, where you're not just talking to fill the void, or to fill, to fill the silence, or to fill the gap, but you're actually having very meaningful communication. I do see a lot of laughter as well associated with this. Okay, I do see a lot of you guys are staying like up very late at night talking to somebody from a distance as well. So let's talk about the foundation here. The foundation is basically something that has already happened, that you already know to be true. We do have here the Two of Pentacles, as well as the Page of Cups. So I feel that, you know, if you are dealing with somebody right now, a lot of you might be deciding between two people. A lot of you who are not deciding between two people, I feel that somebody has already made their feelings known to you. And I feel that you are very scared about getting into a relationship with somebody. And I feel like you're either scared about picking between two people, or you are very scared about getting to a new relationship with the other person because you feel that the other person likes you a lot and you're not really sure if you can like them as much as they like you. So that's what I'm sensing. And I feel like there's some type of water energy. So, you know, the it could be like air sign, water signs as well. Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. It could be somebody with a water sign sun, air sign moon, and vice versa. Some type of sign interchange between, you know, the water and the air sign. So I feel that you have somebody that has made a gesture towards you that they want to be with you, that you know they're serious too, and I feel there's a lot of sincerity here. But you're trying to like either hedge your bets or you're not really sure how this is going to work out long term. So you're very hesitant about entering into any, you know, exclusive relationship at this present moment. So you're still taking your time, you're still trying to decide, and I feel that you're still trying to figure out where you need to be in order to make this big decision, because I feel like for a lot of you, you're guarded with your heart. I do sense that you want a little bit more fun, a little bit more excitement, and you're not ready yet to give your all to a specific person. Not that you're not, you know, that you won't, but you want somebody that gives you a lot of intensity, and you want something really very exciting in order for you to invest your all. So the crowning energy is something that's on your mind that you're thinking about. So a lot of you have transitioned, you know, into some type of a from a troublesome situation where somebody took their sweet time and didn't make up their mind about how they want to proceed forward with you. And I feel that that left you in a situation where you felt like you had no choice but to leave them behind and to move forward and on your own. Now, the Six of Swords is a situation where you are moving from a troublesome situation into calmer water. I usually think about this as, you know, travel, but also whatever you're leaving behind in the past, it was very unpleasant. Okay. It was very tumultuous. It was like a lot of I feel like there was a lot of conflict. There was a lot of like harsh words thrown about between two people. And in a way, you can almost say that, you know, um, too much has been said. So it's really difficult for that situation to repair itself. It's really difficult to let bygones be bygones. You don't really have a choice but to move forward without the other person. And I feel that a lot of you have been dating because we have the Three of Cups as well. This is a socially dating card. This is like going out, having the time of your life, interacting with a lot of people, meeting a lot of people, and it indicates like flirtations as well. So a lot of you have just, you know, recently left something behind. You're back on the dating scene, okay? Or you are kind of like still a little bit sore. You're still like your heart is a little bit sore as a result of some past situation that happened. You're filling in the void by going out to date, going out to socialize, relying on your friends, sisters, you know, loved ones in order to help you forget this past situation that you were in. But either way, I feel that you're emerging from your cocoon. You know, you're emerging from like some type of isolation in order to surround yourself with a lot of positive people. Okay. And in the dating environment, I do feel it is very, very positive. Like a lot of dating prospects are coming through for you, and I do see water sign that you are Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, that you are dating and you're trying to decide how to proceed. You're trying to decide how to make this into a solid, stable relationship, because I feel like it's not very grounded. There are some challenges associated with this union between you and the other person. There might be geographical distance separating you and another person, hence a lot of electronic communication. and you're racking your brain trying to figure out how to make this situation come together. And so, what's coming through for you in the future position here? We have the Nine of Wands, and the Nine of Wands is kind of like not giving up, deciding to fight another day. So, this is a card about advancement, forward movement. It's like not giving up the fight, but rather drudging on for another day. The nine indicates like a number of creativity. It's not completely stable on its own. And I do feel that you have a situation here that you're just like, I feel that a lot of you are see the potential in a new person, and you don't really know how it's going to work, but I feel like a lot of you are just tired of like having to plan out everything down to the minute detail. You're just like, I want to just go with the flow. I want to just give my heart away in order to see where it's going to lead. And a lot of you are in a state where you are content. Whatever the situation might be, you're just content, and you don't really want to like have to make a choice, or you don't really want to be the one to like have to plan out everything. So I feel you're taking a little bit of a step back and letting the other person take charge in order for them to either make up their mind or to decide how to proceed with you. So you're done fighting, you're done struggling. I feel like to push things along a specific way, or to overly to like plan things. So you're taking a step back and you're letting the other person take charge just to see if they're willing to meet you halfway. And I do feel that they are. Okay. We do have the tower coming through as well, and the tower is some type of a breakdown when it comes to the way that we've been seeing a situation. It's kind of like a reality check. Okay. And I pulled out some cards here just to see what is associated with it. What we have here is the Magician, which is somebody who is a very, very smooth talker. They are very intelligent. They have a lot of projects on their plate. And I do feel for a lot of you, it's really, really important that, you're not getting swept off your feet or getting carried away when it comes to spending a lot of your time communicating with like a multitude of people, because I feel like you have a lot of things on your end that you need to take care of. So they're saying take a step back from this, mainly because you need to take care of real world responsibilities first. And on the other hand, if you are in a dating environment, you have a lot of suitors that are coming through for you. And I feel that, you have a very young person here, not biologically, but I feel that their energy is still very young. They have a lot of growth that needs to happen from their end. And I feel that some of you feel as if you can't give them the love that they're giving you, but you're still clinging on to this situation because you feel very flattered that they are investing so much time in you. And I do sense, the tower comes in as a reality check to tell you that you're making great strides right now in your work, also in the dating front, on the dating front. And a lot of the times we instinctively, automatically know how things are going to work out, whether or not we feel chemistry with another person. So I feel like if you're not feeling it with this water sign, then I do sense that you need to like leave that situation alone rather than hurt them further down the line. We have the Four of Cups here, which indicates like a situation where you are reassessing the options that are made available to you. There is an overall sense of dissatisfaction, but I do feel that you are grateful that the options are coming through. None of them are really panning out in in a tremendously great manner. So for those of you who are still dating, you have a lot of options coming through, but I do feel that, you're still communicating with somebody from the past, hoping that they're making up their mind between you and another person. And you're just like waiting, you're filling your time up with these other options, keeping an eye open, keeping the door open for the person from the past to return. And they're telling you, pretty much this is a reality check here where you want to be very directed, okay, about your where you are wasting or spending your time, where you are wasting your energy, because I do feel from the past it's not going to pan out in the manner that you'd hope, okay? So just be very careful about that. And the last card here is the Four of Swords. And the Four of Swords is like the stoppage in communication. Somebody is like retreating and they're not it's like difficult to reach out to them. Be very careful about travel. Check if you're traveling to see another person this month, if they're traveling to see you, check to make sure you have travel insurance. Check to make sure there are, like work out the logistics between you and another person, because I feel like you're sailing into the unknown and it might not be the wisest choice if you just recently met somebody, especially online, and they are rushing things or you're rushing things to go see them and vice versa. They're coming to see you. So just be very careful, okay? Because I feel like for a lot of you, just be careful with the way that you communicate too. If everything is done via text and you're not having the face-to-face interaction, you're not having the a live contact or even live phone calls, that is not really a relationship. That is a time filler for the other person. Does that make sense? So if you, for some reason, you're investing a lot of your time in a person, and for some reason they don't never want to meet, they're never available to have a phone conversation with you, just know that they're just filling in their time, they're filling in their void because they're bored and they're not serious about starting a relationship. For those of you who are in stable relationships, so stable partnerships and marriages, what I do sense is there is an element of, like, I don't know if you are if somebody is like taking a trip to go on business, and there's going to be some type of a coming back together. There is, just be very, very careful about keeping your emotions in check and asking questions, and if the other person is answering truthfully. But I feel that in your head you might have conjured up a story while they were gone and things like that. So just be very careful, keep things in perspective, especially for those who are in stable relationship, because I feel like I feel a contentious energy. There might be a little bit of arguments and things like that. And I do feel as well that going back to the other message, if you are remodeling, redecorating, and things like that, I do feel there's an element of one person being a little bit too extravagant. One person wanting to stay within budget, the other person is more prone to emotional spending. It could be you or your partner, but I feel that there might be some issues regarding financial obligations and one person being too extravagant. Okay, so overall, it is going to be a good month. We do have some tremendous healing energy. The Star card is coming out again, so they're feeling. I feel like if you are dealing with an air sign, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra, Sun, Moon, or Rising, and this is somebody that you're heavily communicating via, electronic communications, via electronic means, I do see there's going to be a major communication breakthrough with this person that will provide a very, very good, um, a very, very good like coming together between you and them. All right. So Sagittarius, I wish you all a very, very happy birthday. Enjoy the holiday season as well. And if you like a private reading, please visit the website. The information is in the description box below. I have also included the donation link. If you choose to use that, I would really appreciate it. So I wish you all the best. I will be back for the mid-month reading. Okay, take care of yourself. Bye-bye.